Hello everyone, it's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with a not a very nice video for you today actually. You may have seen the news a couple of hours ago. Manchester City have had their ban overturned from not competing in Champions League football for the next 2 seasons. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. They've already been found guilty of breaching financial fair play from 2013 on. Of course that's the only reason why they're there. It's not through any other quality football management or any planning or any building. No, they've just had some rich freaking twat come in and buy the freaking success of the football club. It's as simple as that. How the hell can you have the stadium called the Etihad Airways? How can you have Etihad sponsoring Manchester City when the bloody owner of Manchester City bloody owns Etihad? That makes a complete mockery of financial fair play decisions right there. Right freaking there. Oh, okay, we own Chevrolet. You know what? We own Chevrolet. We decide our own deals. We're allowed to do that. We can get our own sponsorship deals. 135 million a year. Screw it. 180 million in a year. Let's put that into the football club from Chevrolet. It's bullshit. Difference is we don't freaking own Chevrolet. You shouldn't be able to own the parent company or a company that's associated with filtering money into your football club to give the impression that you are actually generating more money than you actually are, and therefore sticking to financial fair play rules, which, by the way, they didn't do anyway. They've already been found that they have breached financial fair play rules. They've already found that. So why the hell, when it goes to the Court of Arbitration, are they given a let-off? £10 million fine for Manchester City? Are you having a fucking laugh? 10 million quid for Man City? That's like 20p down the back of the sofa for those twats. They got into this situation to begin with by spending too much freaking money. If you think £10 million is going to deter, then you're having a freaking laugh. What does this say to all of the other football teams in the league? What does this say to your Bournemouths or your Villas or whoever's struggling, trying to freaking keep afloat, actually trying to live within their means? What does it say when you've just got a team like Manchester City who can buy their way out of trouble? A £10 million fine, it's a fucking travesty, lads and lasses, it really is. I'm disgusted by the news today, I am. I was all buzzing my tits off. Bournemouth battered Leicester, and now what have they done? They've shown another example of pure greed and football corruption. It's the same reason why we've got the World Cup in 2022 in Qatar. It's just unbelievable, man. Brown paper bags, brown envelopes filled with cash, grease in the palms, backhanders. That's the only logical explanation for it. Because Manchester City, are guilty as sin, lads and lasses. That's the only reason they are where they are. Not because they've built a dynasty at Manchester City. No, they've just thrown a shit ton of money at it. Way more than is within their means. That's the only reason why they are where they are. So I just find the whole thing a disgrace. I think UEFA's just proven what an absolutely disgraceful, corrupt organisation it is. That we knew that anyway. Platini heading it up a little while ago. They're a disgrace. The amount of times where they've had senior officials found being on the bung, all this corruption, same with FIFA, but in this instance we're talking about UEFA. It's an absolute joke. It's the only reason City have been let off is because they've paid their way out of it again. They've paid their way out of it again. How can you tell me that's right? I mean, look at Liverpool. Fair play to Liverpool, right? Liverpool, it's taken them 30 years to win a league title, right? You can't really ever say that they've spent ridiculously beyond their means. For a start, they have a good generative income from a club with a support like they do, and they've built slowly and gradually and built this situation up to where it is now, where they have a great team and a great side. I can't really discount Liverpool in that way. But what I can say is the only reason Manchester City have any Premier League titles is because they have a rich bloody Sheikh Mansour spunking billions of money into the side. Billions of money into the side. All the way days back to Mark Hughes. All those bloody days back to Mark Hughes signing Robinho and bloody Roque Santa Cruz and all these melts for over the odds. All the way back to then they've been cheating their asses off. I mean, it's a disgrace, man, and every other team's just supposed to accept it, are they? They're just supposed to accept that it's not a level playing field, that it doesn't matter about these financial fair play rules. We might as well just not stick to the financial fair play rules then. Okay, so United in the next window, we'll just go and spend £500 million then. We'll just go and spend 500 million, man. Why the hell not? If we're only going to get a bloody £10 million fine at the end of it, it's chump change to a club like us or then. So it's an absolute joke that this has even been overturned. I was fully expecting Manchester City to be banned out of European competition for 2 years. You know why? Because they'd already freaking been given that ban. They'd already been found guilty of breaching financial fair play rules. The only difference now is they said, you know what? You've greased our palms enough, so don't worry about it. We'll just let you carry on now. Now you just give us some more money, and we'll freaking let you do what you were doing to begin with. It makes a complete mockery of financial fair play. What's the point of it then? What is the point of financial fair play if the only punishment you're getting for being found cheating and overspending is to be given a little bit more of a fine, which you've got shitloads of money to pay it with anyway? I mean, it is unbelievable, the corruption that's going on in football. The corruption in the world. Look at the bigger picture. The world's a disgrace, man. The amount of corruption and greed and selfishness of people. Well, this is summarised by Manchester City, the Court of Arbitration, UEFA. It's summarised by all of these organisations because that is what we've clearly got going on. It's the only way that you can have this incident happen where Manchester City are let off a punishment like this after being found guilty. And it's also, you know, what happened this season as well with Barcelona. They were allowed to sign a player from Celta Vigo, were they? But Celta Vigo weren't allowed to sign a player outside of the freaking transfer window. And that's not corruption either. It's unbelievable what's going on in this day and age. It's really pissed me off anyway. I cannot understand the justification for it. From UEFA, from the Court of Arbitration, from Manchester City, you were given a 2-year ban for breaching financial fair play rules. Those rules are there for a reason. It's so you live within your means, so you don't jeopardise a football club, and so it's more of a level playing field for everyone. Why should it be okay for somebody to buy a football club like Manchester City, who have had some success in history way many years ago, and suddenly take them right up to the top there in the space of a decade just by plunging over £1 billion into it? It puts everybody else at a disadvantage, and it doesn't safeguard the future of Manchester City's football club either. Because let's be honest now, you take the owners out of Manchester City, you take the money out of Manchester City, and what are they left with? A shell of a football club. What are they left with? An empty stadium. You know, what are they actually left with? So that's what it's there for as well. It's not just to make it level playing field, it's to safeguard the potential future of football clubs. As simple as that. And this is not playing into that whole thing either. Right, okay, guys, I'm so annoyed. Thank you very much for joining me. Please do us a favour if you're tuning in right now and smash that thumbs up button. I know there's a lot of you people out there who are just as frustrated as me, because I've been getting messages on Twitter and you know, shout out to everyone that's getting involved. But Manchester City, man, it's a disgrace. UEFA, you're a disgrace. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes. Brad here says, this is BS. Pinmot says, money is the most important thing on the planet. Prove me wrong, mate. As long as you've got money, you can get your way out of anything. Who the bloody hell did Manchester City have representing them at this Court of Arbitration? Was it freaking Robert Kardashian, was it? Was it freaking O.J. Simpson's bloody lawyer? That's the only way you've got him out of this one, isn't it? It's the only possible way. Money talks and bullshit walks, lads and lasses. That's what's freaking gone on there with Manchester City. They've bought their way out of it, just like they bought their way into the success and they bought their way into everything. It's a fucking joke. Norfolk Pyro says they had no striker. Yeah, that's what I mean. Barcelona, they had no striker, so they were allowed to go and sign another striker. It's a shambles of corruption, my friends. And then Celta Vigo weren't allowed to replace. It's a fucking shambles. Debbie Elder says, I'm fuming. Join the club, Debbie. VK Dean says, go onto the CAS website /email and let them know what the football world thinks. Fill their inbox up. Thing is, VK Dean, it's a great idea, mate. Protest and all that. They don't give a shit. They're corrupt, my friend. They just care about brown paper bags with bloody banknotes in. That's all they care about. That's the only reason this has been overturned. Yes, I'm coming out with some bold statements. Yes, I don't have any real basis for this. But why else would they actually turn around this decision? They've already found them guilty of it. It's not like they've said, oh, no, you know what, we got it all wrong. You're free to go. No, they've still fined them 10 million. They've still fined them £10 million, though. They've not got off scot-free. They've not said you're innocent. They've said you're guilty, but instead of a ban, we're going to just fine you £10 million. It's unbelievable, man. Mr. Bignut says, UEFA is an absolute melter. Mate, UEFA... they should just disband it. Disband the whole organisation now. Because it's clearly a joke. It's clearly undermined football. If you look at what's happened over the previous few years, you know, Michel Platini being sacked off because of corruption and all this stuff that's gone on. Of course, it's a freaking monolith. It's a monolith of an organisation. They need to get rid of it. They need to have a look at a new financial fair play system and actually stick to it and actually punish if anybody breaches that. Otherwise, what is the point of having financial fair play? There isn't a point. Clearly, it's like freaking VAR. There's no point of having it whatsoever. Yeah, okay, if you don't stick to it, just give you a slap on the wrist then. What a load of bollocks. Alex the Rincodator, how you doing, mate? He comments with a super chat and says, City are as guilty as OJ. Just because they were cleared doesn't mean they're innocent. Tainted trophies, that's what I mean, son. You know, the glove fits. If the freaking glove fits, you've done the freaking crime, City. And there's Pep Guardiola, there's Sheikh Mansour standing with the bloody rubber glove on with the blood all over it. But no, they still have let them off here. They've still given them an opportunity to pay their way out of trouble. Which is what's got them into trouble in the first place, lads and lasses. PT Hero says, with this verdict, now big clubs can spend as much and get away with it. PT Hero, mate, you're so right. Like, what does this do? It undermines financial fair play. It shouldn't just be big clubs either. If you're a club, I don't know, like Bournemouth, say. Let's say a Saudi billionaire wants to buy Bournemouth and put £1 billion into it over 2 seasons. Well, is he going to be deterred now? Probably not, because we've already seen that happen with Manchester City over the last decade. So if it can be done with them, if they can get away with it at the end of the day with many trophies, many, Champions League football still intact, Premier League trophies and all that kind of thing with only a £10 million fine, bloody hell. It opens up the floodgates for every other football club, like you say, to not live within their means. And the point of financial fair play not only is to make it fair, but it's also, like I said, it's to protect you from doing a bury. It's to protect you from overstretching, overspending, and putting your club in a situation where they cannot sustain themselves. It is supposed to be designed to safeguard a future of a football club. So you can't just have some rich Saudi sheikh come in and just buy a football club, or some American owners like Manchester United have and buy it with debt money. Problem is, they've just allowed all these things to happen anyway. So it just goes to show you the pure corruption that is taking place within not only within our society, but within football, especially football. I think football is like a microcosm of society, man. It shows a lot of the problems within society. There's systemic racism in football. There's corruption. There's violence. There's all sorts of problems within the world of football that are also shared within the world of in the world. And it's like a microcosm of society, man. We've got to do something about it. We can't accept this anymore. We can't accept this level of corruption. We cannot accept these terrible decisions. What is the point of having a level, fair playing field if it's not that? What is the point of Manchester United having these bloody American owners and building and signing these players and gradually doing it over a 7-year period from, a complete transition after Fergie to where we're at now, which is just still on the cusp of trying to get back to where we are challenging, when you've just got teams like City who are allowed to go there and spend, who are allowed to buy the best players in the world, who don't have any repercussions or ramifications for their cheating actions. What is that all about, man? Let's just go and murder somebody then, and then we won't even get bloody, on the trial. They go, you know what? We'll just give you a £10 fine, mate. You know what I mean? It's bollocks is what it is. Bloody unbelievable. Rajtar says in every game now, when City touch the ball, all opposing fans should chant, cheats, 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 every single time they touch the ball. Rajtar Mahood, I fully agree with you, my friend. We need to make it heard. We need to protest. We need to make our voices heard. This is unacceptable. We won't accept this as football fans to just be, to have a team take a complete advantage of the system. Complete advantage of the system. Manchester City are a bloody average, bang average historical team. They're shite, man. Without £1 billion invested to it in the last decade, they would be nowhere, man. And if you'd invested that same amount of money into Oldham Athletic during that freaking time, they'd probably be up there too. Because the fact is, they spent a fortune well beyond their means, and it's not right, lads and lasses. It's not right. Right, I'll just read a couple of your comments out, and then I'm going to have to get on, because I'm wound up with this one. Incomplete says, mate, football is no different to all the rest that is wrong in the world. The world has a sickness. You're right, mate. Greed. Greed, pure greed is what drives this world, unfortunately, which is why you've got most of the world's wealth owned by 1% of people when there's millions of kids out there dying of hunger and starvation. Come on. Of course there's massive problems in the world. Of course there's greed. Of course there's disgraceful corruption going on throughout the world. And that is, like I say, absolutely summed up with football right now. Mighty Creeper says Manchester City are good. The only reason Manchester City are good, Mighty Creeper, is because they spent a shit ton of money. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. It's beyond their means. Look, the fact is that Etihad Airways and all that business, think about that for a second. You can't just make up the numbers. You can't say, oh, do you know what? Let's sponsor our team. We've got Etihad, we've got City, let's just sponsor 135 million in a year or whatever, put it into the books. That'll, they're effectively cooking the books is what that is. That is effectively cooking the books. It's money laundering in my eyes. Okay, it might be legal, it might be all above board, but it's money laundering. If your club has to live within its means, and you're putting money through from a sponsor into the football club, and then saying that that is part of the commercial revenue, which it is, technically it is, but really it's just you moving money from one account into another. That's all that it is. It's a disgrace. Anyway, guys, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much to everybody that's tuned in. Manchester City are a disgrace. They're a bunch of cheating bastards. Don't let this slide, lads and lasses. You let them know about it every single time. Every single time. Get onto UEFA. Get onto whoever. Get onto all the footballing governing bodies. Make your voice heard, because this is just outright corruption. And it's a disgrace, to be honest. And City should not be in Europe. G. Wolf says, get City out of Europe. City shouldn't be in Europe next season. It's an abomination and a disgrace. And I feel sorry for whoever does finish fifth, because it shouldn't be Manchester City who get that place next season. I feel confident United will go on and get third place now. I really genuinely do, after the results going our way and how we are looking at the moment. But whoever finishes fifth, they really are going to feel like they have been slapped up across the freaking face by Manchester City's wet trout that is this financial fair play breach. It's a disgrace, man. They should be banned, it should be upheld, and whoever finishes fifth should take Manchester City's place in the Champions League next year. But corruption, money talks, and bullshit walks, and that's it at the end of the day. Right then, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning in for this video. We've got the Man United game later on. I'm going to chill my boots a little bit, because this has wound me right up. But you guys, thank you very much for watching. Do us a favour, hit that thumbs up button, get involved in the comment section. Come back once this video is finished in a second and have your say. I want to hear from you. Do you think that this is legit? Do you think that Man City have been let off justifiably? Pfft. Let me know your thoughts, is what I'm saying. Come back in a few minutes, get your thoughts and opinions in. Chuck a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. And like I say, we'll be doing the watch along for the Southampton Man United game later on. So make sure you come back and take a cheeky little look at that and join us for the game later. Thanks for watching. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff at Mr. Flying Pig HD. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon. And thank you so much for tuning in today. Let us know your thoughts on Manchester City and the bullshit corruption surrounding UEFA and football. It's a disgrace. Right then, guys, this is the big... Take it easy. Come on, United.